Remember how easy it was when we were kids to just get lost in our imagination? Man, we could do that shit for hours and hours. And now that we're adults, it's just not really there anymore. We struggle and we fight and we still can't really utilize our imagination. At least certainly not like we could before. So if you are struggling with being able to visualize, then definitely stick around for this video, because I'm going to give you guys some very cool techniques and some tips that helped me out immensely, that made it so I could vividly picture my imaginal scenes and my imaginal acts. So stick around. What is up, you guys? I am Missy Renee, and on this channel we talk about manifesting. We talk about everything that there is to do with manifesting, how to do it, how to properly apply it so that you know all the techniques that you need to do in order to manifest anything that you want. So if you are interested in learning more about manifestation, conscious creation, how it works, how to do it, and everything that you need to know in order to deliberately create, hit that bell icon. I upload videos every week that go into detail and all the nitty-gritty, everything that you need to know in order to successfully manifest anything that you want. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the I remember when technique. This is another technique video. Wanted to make this one after I had a conversation with a client of mine a couple days ago where she was asking me about any techniques that I could recommend that she try to help her stay in the wish fulfilled, so that she'd have an easier time with living in the end and moving her manifestation along. Jumping right into it. So the I remember when technique is a super fun way to keep yourself grounded in the wish fulfilled. It's a great tool that you can use during the day, during the waking hours, before your manifestation has arrived, while you're in that waiting period, or what Neville referred to as the Sabbath. Now, for a lot of people, especially if you're new, this is the time that most people struggle with by far. After that period of imagining, when the seed has been planted, until when the manifestation comes along and the bridge of incidents that get us there, this is where a lot of people trip up. So this one is a very simple yet very powerful way to keep you in the wish fulfilled during the day and while you're waiting for your manifestation. To do this one, you are basically putting yourself in the future, in imagination, to where you already have your desire. And you're looking back on the present time when you obviously don't have it yet. And this is actually a really brilliant way to help keep people in that state of fulfillment and to stay the course during this time in the Sabbath and while you're waiting for your manifestation to come about. So you are essentially making now a memory, and you are looking back from the point of view of already having your desire. So for example, say you are trying to manifest a specific person. In that case, you would go something like, I remember when I was single and we were split up and I was miserable, but now we're back together and doing better than ever. Or if you're trying to manifest money, you could say something like, I remember when I was so broke and I had no idea how I was going to pay the bills, and I struggled and it was so hard. But now I am thriving. I have more than enough to pay my bills with plenty left over. Now I live in abundance, and now I have the peace of mind knowing that I will never have to worry about paying my bills ever again. And then while doing this technique, actually feel yourself in that place. Feel yourself in that state, whatever it might be. If you are trying to manifest that specific person, go into this technique with already having that person and reminiscing on the time that is now, but in imagination, it's already yours. And the brilliant thing about this is it is a very clever way to get us thinking from our desire versus just thinking of the desire or noticing the lack of something, because that is by and far the biggest hang up that people seem to have when they are new to this. That period between imagining and planting that seed in the subconscious to when it ripens and comes to fruition, that interim is very difficult for most people when they're just starting out. So this is a really clever way to keep you checked and keep you in that wish fulfilled and keep you thinking from your desire. Also, if you are new and you're not quite sure what I'm talking about when I say thinking from my desire, I made a video all about that one. If you don't know what that means and the difference between thinking of your desire and thinking from your desire, I would check that one out. Knowing the distinction between those two will literally be the cause of your success or failure. So no pressure, but if you want to check out that video, it's linked up here. And I've also gone ahead and put it down in the description box below. But this is a great way to keep yourself in that wish fulfilled state during the day-to-day. And this is a really great way to check yourself. And this technique has done wonders for me. It really does help in that Sabbath stage between when the desire is impressed and when you get it in your 3D world. The first time I did this technique, I will never forget. I was struggling a little bit. This was a couple of years ago, back in 2017, summer of 2017. And I was struggling a little bit. And so I remember reading Neville, and I remember coming across the lecture where he talks about the I remember when technique. And I was like, that seems pretty neat. I'll give it a try. So for that week, anytime I caught myself starting to get nervous about money or freaking out or getting a little stressed, I would catch myself and I would bring up that technique, and I would literally just pause and get lost in my imagination for a moment of already having abundance, of already having enough money, of not having to be in a place where I have to sweat it out. And then about 2 weeks after I had started implementing this technique, I landed my first $10,000 client. And then a week after that, a $50,000 client. That was my first 6-figure summer. I kid you not. I made more money that summer than I had in the last handful of years before that combined. Work just started piling in. And then before I knew it, I was actually sitting there thinking, oh my God, I remember when I was doing this technique for the first time because I was so broke. And I literally had to stop myself, and I couldn't help but laugh because it really does put you in that state. It really does help to move you into the state of the wish fulfilled. Because if you think about it, when implementing this technique, if you are able to keep yourself in that state of already having it and of knowing you already have it, it's yours. It's already done. Now, a question that I sometimes get when I talk about the I remember when technique is, well, Missy, I thought you weren't supposed to think about bad times. I thought the whole point of this was to not conjure up bad memories or bad stories of when you were struggling. And yes, that is true. You do not want to wallow in those negative memories and those negative thinking patterns. The difference here is the feeling. Again, this is all in how you are feeling. Everything that happens, everything that is going to happen, everything that has happened is determined on the feeling associated with your memories, with these events, with these experiences. Whatever feeling is conjured up is what you're going to receive more of. And with the I remember when technique, you're not looking back in despair. You're not getting a horrible sensation from it. It's not a negative feeling. It's actually quite a positive one, because you're feeling that satisfaction and that relief and that bliss of already obtaining the thing that you want. Thoughts by themselves, unless triggered by an emotional response, are not going to manifest. It's the feeling that gets impressed. And that's why I don't have a problem talking about some of the terrible things that happened to me in my past, because I know that that's all part of the old story that no longer applies to me. I have moved from that state entirely. So it's just an observation. And I rarely ever acknowledge it, except to remind myself of how far I've come. So no, you don't have to worry about this one triggering any negative manifestations, as long as you're not dwelling in a negative state, or as long as you're not psyching yourself out, you're going to be just fine. This technique is actually meant to do the exact opposite. It's meant to help keep you in that satisfied, happy state where you already have your desire. Do not fret and do not worry. This one is totally fine. And I can vouch for it along with many other people. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys had this one in your arsenal. It is powerfully effective. So if you are struggling during the day, waiting for your manifestation to come, definitely utilize this. And when you do it, you can do it anytime. It doesn't have to be in the state akin to sleep. You can do this one whenever. But when you do it, really start to get lost in your imagination. Put yourself there and feel yourself. What would that feel like? What would that experience be like? Who would be there? Where would you be? Start to bring all of your sensations into it that you can muster and really put yourself there. I promise you guys, you will not be disappointed with this one. So definitely try this one out and let me know how it goes in the comments below. And if you have any questions about this one, if you have any questions about the I Remember When technique, or about anything in general, if you have anything that you might want me to go over in future videos, leave them down in those comments below. So if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. This helps trigger the YouTube algorithm so that more people can see this content. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that way you are notified every time I put out new videos. And if you guys are interested, I am working right now on an online course. I'm working on a manifestation masterclass. And I mean, I'm putting everything that I've learned, everything that I've documented, everything that I've experienced. I have combined all of that knowledge and all of that research and funneled it down into this course. If you are interested in pre-registering, I will have the link for that one in the description box below. I've also got a couple of workshops coming up. So if that is something you are interested in, then I will have all of that info down below. I want to give you guys more options because I want more people to have access to this information. So I will be working on that. I will hope to have more information coming up in the next week or so. Check down below, pre-register for that course, and I will keep you all posted with more updates as they come. Also, do not forget to check out these videos over here. They each go into more depth and more detail on various topics, but all having to do with manifesting and how to manifest your best life. So enjoy, definitely check out that playlist. Don't forget to pre-register for the course below. And until next time, you guys, as always, never forget how powerful you truly are at manifesting.